Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Always, and welcome back to Anti-Material Energy. In the last episode, we set up this amazing sheep farm with a bunch of sheep and plenty of different pig, plenty of different, uh, well, wool colors to collect. Um, so I was messing around a little bit. I actually, because of putting water in here, one of the sheep actually escaped to the next place. So that was a pain, but what I could do is I could always put fence gates throughout this, and that would allow me to kind of traverse. If I just put a fence gate in every single one, and then sheep can't get out if I put water through here. And the water is just if I want to automatically shear these guys. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter. So long as I don't breed two of different colors, because I wanna have a good number of all of them. So there's some concerns with this farm still, but for the most part, it's working just fine. We have a bunch of wool, and we can use this wool to get a bunch of different materials that are, well, a little bit rarer to get. So, I had to kill, that was the third pig I've killed today, so, yeah, that's something. By the way, I don't know if I showed this off. I have a zombie trophy. I got that, I don't know if I got it between the previous episode or if I showed it off or what, but, yeah, I got a zombie trophy. It's kind of cool. But, anyways, today, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to do some questing. We're going to do as many quests as we can and just try to work towards completion of what we have available to us at the very least. So the first thing that we want to do, eventually we're going to set up a mob tower. We're going to turn this entire area into a plains biome. So currently Mushroom Island is everywhere, but this is all plains as well as this little area. I want to turn this entire chunk into a plains biome. And I'll designate it with like cobblestone or something. I'll do something fancy with it, but it'll be the mob spawning for normal mobs. We'll have a falling trap with some spikes. It'll be great. And that's what we need to start making a little bit. We don't have a lot of iron. We have a little bit of iron, but we don't have a lot of iron. So that's something that's a concern. We also need to get deeper into calculators so that we can get better capacitors, which would also be nice, and various things. So like compact machines would be nice to have, just so that we could make big systems in a small area, but it's not super important to me. Now, one thing that we can go ahead and do, we have a ton of these crystals. By the way, I think I said this last episode, but I'm going to say it again. The quests reset. So I'm probably not going to use that. Now the other thing we can do, that I don't think I did, just make sure I don't see anything, it's like that. Conserving ore nodes, that is a quest. So we're going to do a little bit of ore cascade questing. We're not going to get into the vortex infusion or anything like that today. We'll save that for another time, but we can go ahead and do this. That is that quest. It will give us some stuff, which I will be honest, don't care about too much. We're going to want a bunch of these crystals so that we can turn them into other types. So green requires green wool. We'll make all of these just to have them. So we're going to need green. We've completed blue, so we're going to need purple. Yes, purple. We know we need green. Yellow, orange, red. Yellow, orange, red. And black. Alright, cool. So this is going to give us a ton of crystals and all that fun stuff. We can always make more crystals. That's not a problem. But we don't have that many. So yellow, green, violet. And all of these do different things, and we're going to need them for various things later, but we'll get to that stuff once we get deep into Aura Cascade. I just wanted to complete all these quests. We'll get a bunch more crystals and a very, very disturbing noise. Alright, so let's just put all this stuff away, and it'll be fine. So, before we do anything else, I want to go ahead and go kill some more things. I want to try to level up my hammer as much as I can, but we're going to start working on some other things. And another modifier. Cool. That's something. Alright, so, Aura Cascade, we're going to kind of stop for that for now, with that for now. And I want to look into, let's see, we really need to work on getting through some of the alchemy stuff. We have the EMC charcoal, we need the minim stone, which is going to require minim dust and an inert stone. That's not that bad. But we need the minim dust, and that stuff is kind of difficult. We're going to need something that's azure dust, or we can get it directly from stuff like gold blocks. Anything that's 8,000 EMC or more, or energy values or more. So that's kind of the problem. Ender diamonds are really good. Are they useful for much? Ender energy distributor. Honestly, not really. We could use diamonds and stuff like that, but for this guy we need 8 diamonds. Or we can use azure dust, or we can use lesser things. The question is kind of what do we have access to? I mean, obviously we could use cobblestone. Cobblestone is something that's kind of nice. If we look at the uses of this cobblestone, we can make the verdant dust. But if we go to quadruple, it makes the azure dust. And we'll need a lot of that stuff, but that's something to consider. It's just a matter of what's going to be good. And that might be something we want to look into more once we have access to things like gold. Gold blocks are really good. Well, if we get a hell biome, which we can, I think we have to look up nanotubes. We can make hell capsules, but it requires beryl. Beryl is a bit of a pain to get. It comes from emeralds, and anything that has emeralds in it. Beryllium we can get from netherrack or beryl. Soul sand, instone. Instone would be really nice to have a lot of. And if we can get the philosopher's stone, that is a lot of this stuff kind of made easy. So do we spend the diamonds or do we do other things? That's something I will get back to you guys with, because I don't know yet. So for now, we're not going to worry about that too much. Let's go ahead and make some stuff. We might look into that a little bit more today. We'll see. So what's the other thing in here? The Book of Secrets. That is going to require another diamond, minim dust, and a book. That is easy enough. That I'm not worried about. So let's back out of that and go to blank canvas. So there's 3 quests here. 1, which makes me remember to do that. 1 which we can't actually complete. Plutonium. That is something we've talked about. You're supposed to be able to use... wait, was that? Ender sand alloy. Okay. You're supposed to be able to use lava for that. But the lava recipe, for whatever reason, is not what it says it should be in the book. Which is kind of whatever. Like I said before, this pack is unfinished and pretty broken, to be honest. So iron spikes. We're going to need about 2 blocks of iron for this. But let's go ahead and make this. I don't know why I made that many sticks, but I did. 1, 2, 2, 3. In fact, it is 2 blocks. 2, 4, 6, 9 iron spikes. We'll get some more spikes, including golden spikes, which we can always melt down into gold. And more iron spikes, which we can always use if we want to. Not a big deal. Alright, so with that taken care of, we need to make the conveyor belt as well. We're going to need 2 recipes of this. We're going to need 6 iron plus 2, 4. And then we're also going to need redstone. So redstone is always the problem. Redstone is a pain to make. It is copper sulfate. Or no, copper iron oxide. But we can get copper from copper sulfate. So we wait until we see this. Now what can we get copper sulfate from? Well, we can get it from light blue wool. We can get it from magenta and cyan. So let's go grab a bunch. Actually, we don't even need to right now because I believe we have a good bit of copper. Iron, we have a little bit of. I believe we have more in here. No, we don't. Are we really that low on iron? And oxygen. So, I believe it is 1, 2 of those. And there is the 2 redstone that we're going to need. So yeah, we're going to need more iron. That is something that is kind of a pain. Just because we've got to use this stuff. But if I set up a better power source for this guy and give him plenty of power, then it shouldn't be a problem. It's just kind of getting power over there. The biggest problem is like finding power sources that are very renewable. But we can go ahead and break this, put it there, and start collecting a bunch of iron oxide. So with this, we should be able to make so rails, and then we're gonna need 2 sets of these. And that is the conveyor belts. So we're gonna get a bunch more plus a vacuum chest. That is really nice rewards. So that all is going to be used to make a mob farm, which we will worry about another time. We're gonna use the iron spikes. Diamond spikes are the best because it gives you player drops, which are useful for things like zombie pigmen, which I don't know why I typed that. So we can get gold from zombie pigmen. I don't know that this doesn't have that recipe. We will eventually want diamond spikes. We can use iron spikes, honestly, just to get a bunch more iron back. But for the time being, iron spikes would not be a problem. Because we only have 1 gold spike, we need more. So 2 recipes of this with a lot of gold. It's going to require some magical wood. That's not terrible. We just need books and enchanting table and all that kind of stuff. But that is far enough down the line that we're not going to worry about it. So I guess let's go ahead and decompose the rails. We get a bunch of iron for that. And we'll do this. And yeah, we'll just put that back. Okay. So with those 2 quests taken care of, there's only 1 more quest in that area, and that's the plutonium. We can't do that until we get the flawless calculator. So let's look at the wrath of the fireball. We need to do a couple things. So redstone exchanger, there's a really complicated recipe, and then there is a radium recipe, which we can get radium from radium chloride, which I believe we have a bit of. So how much of this do we actually need? We need 10. And we get the radium chloride from, well, lava. That is one of the things we do actually get. Lithium, radium, gold, copper sulfate, and nickel, plus chloride. So that's something we don't really care about. Singularities. These are annoying to make, and it requires this thing, but a lot more storage space. We can dump things in there that we don't necessarily want, like I could take stacks and stacks of oxygen. So 80, 204. So can I give it 50 more? And that'll make exactly one matter ball. But we need a bigger storage thing for making the better stuff. So that is something we'll deal with later as well. We just need to have more supplies. We need more stuff coming in. Alright, so then the other thing is the compact machine, which is not bad except for the world resizing. This is super duper annoying. It requires a lot of redstone, and I don't feel like making it. So we're not going to worry about that. But we need to make the extraction chamber. So that is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 quests in here. And that's what it says. Alright, so the extraction chamber requires a power cube. We're going to need more redstone. What a surprise. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So let's just get a stack of redstone. And copper. And there is literally a stack of redstone. Alright, cool. So redstone should no longer be a problem. We have some iron ore. Can we really use this for anything that's not just making more iron? We can use it to get reinforced iron, which the recipe for that is a little bit cheaper with a stone separator. Can we get more of this? We can. If we really want to. But maybe we'll keep a little bit of it aside. Sag mill will get us ferrous and 10. Induction smelting. Okay. So let's keep half of it aside. Let's go ahead and sag mill this. And do I have any flint? I don't believe I do. It's always super annoying. We do have an energy module, which I believe we need. No, we don't. Never mind. So we're going to need some stuff. We're going to need some redstone. We need 8 redstone. And 8 iron. So let's grind up a cobblestone to try to get some flint. And I don't believe we're getting any power, so let's grab some charcoal. Actually, I think this guy is still working, but this guy isn't. Or this guy. There went a lot better. I guess let's put like some cobblestone through the pulverizer. How do we get gravel? There's got to be a good way to get gravel. Sag mill has a chance. It's like a 10% chance. Otherwise, stone gives us gravel. Alright, well that's not fun. Alright, well, We'll just do this. Gravel. Perfect. Silicon goes in there. We have a good bit of iron. So we can put all this in there. Grab what we can. So there is... Honestly, that should be good in terms of like getting getting what we want, which is, of course, we want to get the let's see, 2 more of these. We want to use the sag mill back here. We have a bunch of bread with alloys to make the conductive iron. We're going to need a capacitor, which I can't remember how to make that. But we'll get the extraction chamber, and then that will give us kind of the beginning. So we can diamonds. We have everything else. We just need the actual power cube. So that is silicate and titanium. So let's make 2 of these. Silicate. We'll just take all of that out. 8. And we'll make some capacitors. So that's actually not too bad. Silicate is not that hard to make either, so it's not that much of a concern. I don't know if we ever looked at this, but there you go. It does use quite a bit of energy, but it's fine. Alright, so we need 1 of these. And once this is done, we can do stuff. Alright, so how are we doing for carbon? Carbon nanotubes. If we want to use these, if we were going to want a lot of carbon, carbon comes from, well, so it's 3 each. Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, something like that. So, we're just going to fill this with carbon as much as possible. And we're going to put this there, put those away. I just want some flint. And we can go ahead and cook all of this stuff up here soon. But for now, we can just put the powders in here. It doesn't really matter. So, how do we get more carbon? Well, the easiest way is honestly plant life. Watermelon, actually, pumpkins are really good for that kind of stuff. But we're trying to save our pumpkins for the charcoal, so we can finish that quest. I believe these guys are pretty good for that. And they're easy enough to grow. We could honestly have a fairly large farm of these if we wanted. Rather than doing like we have been, just do a wall of them. So let's put this stuff back. We're going to keep the cocoa beans. We're going to decompose them. And we're just looking for carbon. So tannic acid and theobromine. So we put both of these through. And we just want stacks on stacks and stacks of carbon. And we can kind of let that stuff run while we're working on other things. Now, one of the other things we can do is we can kind of go through a lot of this stuff and break down any elements into just flat out base elements, because that's really all that matters to us. So sodium oxide, we can break that down unless they're useful. So let's take a look at like this. It is a fuel, and that's it. How good of a fuel is it? 10,000 RF. Not that great. So we can just throw that in there. And a lot of this stuff will actually tell us burn effect 2 seconds. But we're going to get a lot of other things that we can then break down. And right now all we care about really is the base elements. So we're getting a lot of hydroxides. That's fine. Put those in there and they will do their thing. So that's something that I can kind of do as we go, both on camera and off camera, is just kind of look at what we have and what we want to kind of deal with. So there is the extraction chamber. Now, how does this thing work? Well, we're going to get some dirt, we're going to get some stone, we're going to get reward bag. Now, that unlocks 3 more things. We need a precision chamber. That's going to require, it's an upgrade to the extraction chamber. The precision chamber actually allows you to get exact circuits that you want. So for example, with this guy, we put uses. Can we see the uses? We're going to need a bunch of these. I realize we're going to need quite a few more. It extracts circuits from dirt and stone. So it doesn't show it, but I think if we place this down, recipes. So cobblestone and dirt will give you random circuits, either damaged circuits from cobblestone or dirty circuits from dirt. And while that is really good, it doesn't really do anything for us. We're not quite ready to do anything with that because, by the way, what's the recipe for this? Rich coal. Okay. And what can we use it for? We can use it for fuel. Can make the energy modules. We have a bunch of those. Well, that's it. So let's grab some purified coal. And it's a lot better. Alright, so kind of the basic idea is we want to get these circuits. Now, why do we want circuits? Well, eventually we're going to want double layer capacitors. It's hyphenated. Double layer capacitors require, looks like any circuit plus controlled fuel. So we are going to need the flawless calculator. That is a pain, and I don't know if that requires any circuits or those specifically. Now, in the extraction chamber, it's random chance. But in the precision chamber, this specific damaged circuit comes from stone. And we can literally look at the precision chamber. So clay gives you those. Various things give you exactly what you want. So you can use it to get the circuits you need. And then you reassembly, and then you can make them into whatever you want. Now here's my question. If we look at this one, for example, so we can use it for the double layer capacitor, and that's it. Alright, so we're going to want the extraction chamber specific, or the precision chamber specifically. So that is something to kind of keep in mind. But that's also not that big of a problem. So let's see, we have a good reward bag. Let's open our decorations. Kind of useless. Something we can use, by the way, is these fantasy blocks. They will give us verdant dust because they have 230, but we can also use them to get gold, I believe. Yes, we can decompose them into gold because they are made from a gold nugget. So it's good to have. So let's see how much carbon we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's take the hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen out. And not just throw them on the floor, but actually take them. Alright, so that is going to continue processing all of the stuff. Let's go ahead and make 1, 2, 3 diamonds. Alright, so obviously we need more carbon. This is something I'm going to work on between episodes, getting just a ton of carbon. But the calcinator, we can go ahead and burn these up. And that will give us the MineChem dust. And we can go ahead and start getting some of the stuff that we need. We'll get back to the calculator stuff later. Just because it's going to require a lot of iron. And I need to kind of do my chores and get more iron cooking up and all that fun stuff. So, alchemy. Book of Secrets. So, Tomb of Alchemical Knowledge. We need a book. That's not that bad. So, books are actually a lot easier than you'd think, because you can make them with blank patterns. So we're going to need some sugarcane. And this harvest, we're just going to recycle whatever we can in the decomposer. So it's not that big of a deal. So we're going to want 3 pieces of paper. And we'll put the rest of you in there. So hydrogen seems to be something we're going to want to compress with this. And that should be fine. Because some of the stuff that we're getting out of this stuff is quite expensive. Okay, so we have the paper where you're going to need some blank patterns. Those are not that expensive. Let's go ahead and make a couple more. And then we're going to just need a single piece of string, which I believe we have if I go to the right place. But that's also something we can make. So string, 3 paper, 2 blank patterns gives us a book. And the book will give us what we want. So put that stuff away. We'll just come over here. And that will make the Tomb of Alchemical Knowledge. Now we need, for the MineChem stone, MineChem, we're going to need 8 more. But there is the Tome of Alchemical Knowledge. And that's going to give us other things. So what is this used for? Nothing. No known transmutation. Alright, well, put that away, we'll put that away. It's fine. So we have a little bit more MineChem dust. So I will tell you guys what. I'm going to go ahead and end the episode off here. We have 37. We're going to cook some... Actually, no. We're going to come up here. Come on, give me some chickens. There's 1. 2. Come on, give me more chickens. Alright, well, whatever. We have some more chickens in the hopper area. Once they grow up, they're going to give us a lot more eggs. So I will tell you guys what I am going to do. Kill that chicken. I'm going to fill that in because we don't need it anymore. But I'm going to do my chores. Get more iron, so just get a bunch of cobblestone in there, cooking up. And what we'll end up doing is next time we're going to work a little bit with alchemy. We're going to hopefully make a handful more of the thingies, the calculator stuff, and we'll kind of go from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. That is going to be the plan. We're going to hopefully get a little bit stronger in our resources, and we'll go from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!